let's surmise the flight plan. Okay, and you're going to notice in yellow we got Parthia, the Parthian Empire. Okay, which will be modern day Iran and Iraq, the ancient Babylonian Empire. Okay, then we have Armenia. The red landmass represents Armenia. Okay, the next red landmass represents Syria. Okay, now we got Roman Egypt. Now we have Israel. Okay, now Israel, the Roman Jewish war, the fleeing diaspora. Okay, it would make sense for them to go south, right? But if they go that way, right, they make the left and try to get into Parthia, they're going to jail. First of all, they can't logically get through the Arabian tribes because the Arabia sent 6,000 men, 1,000 archers, and 5,000 soldiers. If I'm not mistaken, they sent 6,000 men to help smash Israel. So how could you get through the Arabian people when they just sent men to destroy you? Okay, you know what kind of reward they probably would have had on the fleeing diaspora of Judean rebels? All right, now going into Parthia is another story. Okay, because the Parthian prince sent Titus a crown of gold upon hearing that he destroyed these people. All right. So then, you try to get into Armenia. There is a Parthian prince that resides over Armenia. So these are all sympathetic to Rome. All right. Then if we try to get into Syria, that's not going to happen because that's on fire. All right. Syria is on fire right now. The Syrians are trying to get the Jews that have been living with them crucified just for being Jews. Okay, so this is not a place that the fleeing diaspora of wanted rebels would want to go. These places are hostile towards Israel. All right, so this is the only way that you're going to be able to go to get into Khazaria, where 90% of the modern Jewry claim that they're from, or they say that they're from. Okay, now getting into to Khazaria, you will have to get through the trifecta: Syria, Armenia, and the Parthian Empire. Okay, what we can do is we could think of Israel as a ball. We could think of Rome as a bat, right? And we could think of these three kingdoms as the catcher's mitt. Okay, if you go anywhere around these places, you're subject to death, execution by fire, or sold into slavery. Okay, so it's probably not a good idea to go into any of these four territories. Okay, meaning the Arabian tribes also. All right, so that's probably not a good idea. So let's draw a different itinerary and see if we can come up with a flight plan that is more logical. Okay, now let's reroute and let's make it just right instead of left. Axum Empire. You ask yourself, what on earth is the Axum Empire? Right? And why should I know this? Don't worry, I'm going to help you out. Okay, in the Meriatic Roman War, you may ask yourself, the Meriatic Roman War, what is that? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. Okay, in the Meriatic Roman War of 25 to 20 BCE, Queen Amanirianus successfully repelled the armies of the Roman Empire. A legendary story of her carrying the decapitated head of an Augustus statue back to Meroe and having it built into the steps of one of the temples so that the citizens of Meroe could proudly trample on the head of the Roman icon upon entering the Temple of Victory, was a story discounted by modern Eurocentric scholars until it was actually unearthed. Okay, now the Meroe head of Augustus, I got this from the British Museum website. This is the curator's comments.
This head once formed part of a statue of the Roman Emperor Augustus. In 31 BC, Augustus defeated Mark Antony and Cleopatra at the Battle of Actium and took possession of Egypt, which became a Roman province. The writer Strabo tells us that the statue of Augustus were erected in Egyptian towns near the first cataract of the Nile at Aswan, and that the invading Kushite army looted many of them when they raided Roman forts and settlements in Upper Egypt in 25 BC. Most were later returned as a result of negotiations between the Mareotic Queen Candace.
Okay, now that's incorrect because Candace actually means queen. So that would more or less read Queen Queen. The Candace name was Amanarianus.
And the Roman general Petronius. However, this head remained buried beneath the steps of a native temple dedicated to victory at the Kushite capital Meroe. It seems likely that it was torn from a statue and placed there deliberately, so as to permanently be below the feet of its captors. Remains of frescoes from within the temple, which appear to show Roman prisoners of war before a Mareotic ruler, support this interpretation.
Okay, also, this is all written down in the Mareotic script. This story is also found on the Mareotic Stela. Okay. So after Queen Amanarianus' military achievement in repelling the Romans' insatiable desire for conquest and foreign taxation, the result was a kingdom never dominated by Roman legislation or jurisdiction. The region remained independent and eventually grew into the Axum Empire, an independent monarchy and political climate ripe to facilitate the escape, refuge, or safe passage through for a refugee Judean diaspora. All right, now